Oh, thank you. Thank you. 21 minutes after 8. It's the Tim Dennis program. Good to see you this morning on this Wednesday, halfway through the week. Opening a new business is a pretty daunting thing. Coming up with something you feel will attract people, yet coming up with something that you know you're really good at, that you can really embrace, which is why we wanted to talk to my next guest. Lucas Spinosa is the owner and entrepreneur who has opened a place called the Black Sheep Lounge, a cafe and music venue, particularly acoustic, a la Mr. Clapton there, unplugged on Niagara Street. And joins us this morning to talk about it. Hello, Lucas. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Tim?
Excellent. It's a coffee shop. Coffee's the big part, right? Coffee's huge right now with people.
Yeah, coffee is taking off. It's got this whole new wave explosion going on in the States, and it's starting to happen in the bigger cities in Canada, so I thought we'd bring it down to the smaller cities, too.
Yeah, I mean, there are coffee shops out there, but what is it about your coffee that might be a little different before we talk about some of the other things?
Sure. Well, we're doing something called a pour-over coffees, and that's basically like a brewing style. It's when you take freshly roasted coffee, freshly ground coffee, put it in a brewing device, and you meticulously pour water over it in different ways with different brewing vessels, and you can bring out the flavors of the coffee. You can taste the cherries. You can taste all the earthiness of it. It's pretty cool. You take out the natural flavors of the coffee that you wouldn't taste in regular brewing methods.
The Black Sheep Lounge, though, it's kind of an interesting name, but it also goes into a lot about what your attitude toward the clientele should be. It's a place where you feel people can go to be themselves. Tell me a little bit about your idea with the Black Sheep Lounge.
Definitely. Well, the biggest thing is a lot of the people that see me, they automatically think that we got the name from the way I look because I got the spiky hair and the spiky clothes and all that kind of stuff too. But it's really just about, I've always been interested in everybody else's interests. You know, I've been working at my dad's bakery for 13 years in storefronts, so you get to talk to people, right? And they tell you all these different things, and I hate talking about the weather. I don't like talking about, small talk. I want to hear about them and what interests them. So when people come to the cafe, I want them to be themselves and show off what they have to offer.
In other words, there are a lot of people who feel uncomfortable walking into quote-unquote mainstream places. People look at them differently, make assumptions based on the way they look or the way they act, which are generally wrong.
Exactly.
And you want a place where people can feel comfortable to go in.
Yeah, and no shot at Starbucks because I've drank at Starbucks a billion times, but, they write your name down on a cup. The second you leave, they forget your name. We hope to remember it before we have to write it down on any cups for you.
When talking to friends and family and those kinds of things, did you find that there just weren't places like that, and then that's one of the reasons why you tried to give it a shot?
Well, the biggest thing is we just wanted to open it based off of our love of coffee and people and all of that. It wasn't really trying to create something different. It was after we decided to do it that we wanted to do something a little bit different with it. We thought, hey, if we're going to do it, we might as well put our own little spin on it.
Why open where it is? I mean, you're in Welland. Welland's been running into some problems economically over the past few years, and you're in the building. Is that the old aqueduct, the building you're in?
It's right across the street from there. That was the old Black Lantern or Times Square nightclub and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Okay. So, gotcha.
Yeah, sorry. No, Welland is, it's a beautiful city. I always say it's the underrated Niagara on the Lake because, we have the infrastructure, we have the canalways, we have all these beautiful historic buildings, but no one's been utilizing it. And I think people are letting the rumors about it kind of get into the limelight. And honestly, like I said, my dad has Spinosa's Bakery on Niagara Street, and we're literally the building right next door. And I've known these people since I was 8 years old, and everybody's been incredibly supportive, and I couldn't thank everyone enough for all of that,
The reason I asked that question about Welland is you can picture a place like the Black Sheep Lounge on Queen Street in Toronto, Kensington Market, someplace like that. Welland, because it's not a huge major metropolis, do you feel you're taking a chance opening up a place like that in a smaller community?
Oh, it's definitely a bigger risk doing it here because, like you said, first off, we don't even have the population to support something like this. But, I mean, there's a lot of really successful small businesses in Welland that have been around for years and years, and I really think people are going to buy into it. Just from what I've heard from people, and my generation now, I mean, we're not afraid to travel if we have to. I go to St. Catharines almost every single day, Niagara Falls every single day. So driving 15 to 25 minutes every night to hang out with friends at a place you like is not really that outrageous. So I think really we're looking at more closer to 250,000 people as opposed to 58,000.
Sure. Entertainment coming your way too?
Plenty of it, yeah. No, we're starting off with like all acoustic stuff, and we're going to do all of that on a regular basis. Every week we're going to have probably 2 or 3 nights a week doing live acoustic music. But we want to do almost all original music. So when people go there, it's going to be, you play your own songs because, again, it's a Black Sheep Lounge, right? We want you to showcase what you got and not, a crappy version of Freebird or anything like that. So, I want to hear what you have to do. I'm a musician myself, so I've spent countless hours in bedrooms and garages and basements trying to write and play with other people. So I think all that hard work has to pay off somewhere, and I want a place where people can go and listen to that kind of stuff.
And as a guitar player who played 18,000 crappy versions of Freebird, I thank you for that. Trust me. Listen, Lucas, thanks for this. All the best. Good on you for having the guts, the fortitude to move forward with a new business and a new kind of plan for people to embrace differences and embrace inclusion. That's great stuff. Thanks, Lucas.
Well, that's great. Thank you. Maybe we'll see you for a latte or something.
Absolutely. Sounds great.
Beautiful. Thanks very much. Lucas
Spinosa is opening the doors of the Black Sheep Lounge in Welland on Niagara Street. So could be a destination for people. I like being able to focus on people trying different things. And not just saying, it's too tough to open in Niagara. It's too tough to open a small business. It's just too much crap to go through. There's a guy who's doing exactly what his heart tells him to do, and hopefully the community gets behind him for that reason.